Hiya, Miss Haley.
Hi,
Hold on
Frank.
just a second.
Oh,
Okay.
hey, Haley.
Hi, Frank.
How you doing, girl?
Really good. Thank you. It's a beautiful day here.
Good.
How about where you are at? In Kansas?
It's very nice here too. Kansas City's the weather's changing now. We're gonna get some nice weather. Although I think you guys probably been experiencing some good weather for a lot longer than we have.
Right? Yes. Sunny.
So yeah, I mean, so I am going to, as I've said before, I'm not like really, awesome at this. So I'm going to try to, kind of get onto Facebook here, and I'm going to see what people's posts and what they have to say. And we'll hopefully be able to answer some people's questions today. So I'm really looking forward to that. Oh, that's volume. Okay. All right, we're good. Anyway, so I have been really excited to do this. I've been really excited to talk to you. And you have so much to share. And I'm like really looking forward to getting the scoop on everything you do and how you do it. And I'm sure a lot of people out there are excited to find that out as well.
Good.
So
I'm happy to share. I love to share what it is that we're doing here to keep wigs going in Arizona. Yeah.
So for everyone, as they're joining on, let me just say, I want to introduce you to Haley. This is Haley McCoy. And Haley is the owner and operator of the Designer Wig Outlet, and she has 2 locations. It's Haley's Designer Wig Outlet, and she has 2 locations it's Mesa and Scottsdale, right?
Mesa and Scottsdale.
That is awesome.
Yeah, we've got a busy wig scene in Arizona. We honestly, women love wearing these here. Toppers as well.
That's awesome. I mean, it's great to have 2 locations too, because I'm sure you go back and forth to both of them. So you get,
I do.
does each one have like a little different feel,
Yes. So Mesa is calm, relaxed. We have a slightly more mature clientele there, and we do have popular wigs at each shop that vary. But I enjoy both. The Mesa store we've had for quite a few years now, so that one's really well established. The Scottsdale store has just wrapped up its first year. However, we finished just a little bit ahead of Mesa. So we're going to be going head to head this year and seeing which store can outperform the other one.
Yeah, it's interesting because regular hair salons are like that too, right? Depending on your location, it's a slightly different feel and a different like clientele. And you have to kind of cater to that, I think, So I want to talk a little bit to Haley about basically just your background. First of all, I hope we make it through this interview because Haley is expecting, what child is this, Haley?
Child number 4, and I am due today. So today's my due date. I have been practicing like mental techniques to keep the baby in no matter what, so that we could accomplish this interview. And then maybe after work today, I'll head in and have her. That could happen.
That would be fantastic.
Yes. It'll be my first time leaving my clients having a child. So I'm like, there's definitely some angst with that. It's been an interesting time these past 2 months, and then add to it kind of going to have the baby and that. So
yeah.
A lot going on. Yeah.
Right. Which, having a child in this type of situation that we're facing, probably is a little concerning too. So we wish you the best. I will say that from the beginning. But so Haley, give us a little bit. I want to talk a bit about your background. I mean, you own 2 wig salons. How did you get into the wig business? What was it that made you get into this whole realm of style and beauty and the business in general?
Well, I think that looking back, everything that I had done in my past really did lead up to this. I definitely think it was part of my pathway, and I do credit God a little bit, because I do think that sometimes we would choose something else for ourselves, but there's a different plan in place for us.
Yep.
But really there was a point where I certainly like got bitten by the little wig bug, and I just started to fully believe and embrace and love wigs. And then from there, I just wanted to share all of the benefits of wigs to everybody that I could meet.
Right.
So I have been
when
doing
did, okay.
um,
So
yeah, one thing
you opened up your first salon when? Your first wig salon when?
my first wig salon I opened up in maybe 2013. So it was a while ago. I did open one with a friend of mine in the past, and that was a really good like first experience. I learned a lot, learned what to do, what not to do, really fine-tune the process, and then eventually decided to, you know, in order to go my own route for the rest of my life, to do something on my own. So now I've had my personal company for maybe 4.5, 5 years, and it's been going phenomenally.
Right. And so what brands do you carry in your salon? I mean, do you carry every brand that's out there, or?
I don't. So for me, it's more, this is a very relationship-based business, right? Like the relationships we build with our clients are important. The relationships that we have with our reps and the companies we choose to do business with are very important. So for me, I primarily have 3 core brands that I carry. And then we do bits and pieces from a few other companies as well. But actually, over on the other side of my shop here is all Raquel Welch. So I've got a beautiful side of my store dedicated to the HairUWear product line. Yeah, we do the ponies, the extensions, and the wigs, as well as the toppers. So I love HairUWear products. Of course, John Renault products are fabulous as well. And then Adirond's is a great brand too. So those are going to be our 3 core.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
so you have a nice representation.
We do. A little something for everybody, because I think that certain brands cater to age groups or certain styles. So we like to make sure to have all of our bases covered.
Sure. I mean, and it's great, I think, always to have a variety for people, you know. So speaking of, you mentioned Raquel Welch before. Is that a Raquel Welch wig you're wearing now? Because your hair looks lovely, I must say.
But of course, darling. So I actually love this wig. This is one of my all-time favorites. This is the Easy Does It. And this is a huge bestseller for our shop, our demographic, as well as I think around the United States, because we get so many phone calls to order this one. This is a salon exclusive wig. And Biscuit, of course, is such a pretty color, such an easy color to wear. I love it.
Well, you wear it well, darling, but you wear everything well. So I mean, you know.
Well, as a designer, you guys are doing a great job.
Well, thank you.
Styles. Yeah.
Thank you. We're trying. And of course, your input, wig shops, the women who wear them, all that input is very important to us. And we take that into consideration. And we'll talk about that a little bit too, because I might get your input on some things. So I wanted to just say, obviously, 2 wig salons. You're a very busy woman. You're a very busy gal. And you've been working at promoting your business and getting things going and doing the things you love to do. And then bam, hi, everybody. There's a national pandemic, and we have to force you to close your salons. And not only were you faced with this, but hair salons, wig shops, a lot of businesses, restaurants. And so all of a sudden you hear that. And as a wig shop owner, what is your thought and what do you do?
I mean, I can't believe that this hit right in the middle of busy season. I mean, we went from 60 to 0, like within a day. It was insane because we were right in the middle of busy season where we have a lot of snowbird clientele and just everybody in our town with that perfect weather, lots of fun, social activities going on. It's wedding season, graduation season. So to go from being so busy to having something really shock the system, it has been a big deal. But I think that just the way that you respond and you keep your spirits up and stay afloat, it's really been an exercise, I think, for us. And it also feels good to come out on top of a situation like this.
Right. So you being like, thinking a business owner, that what was the whole feel like? I mean, you're told that you're going to shut down. What do you do? Because how were you prepared for that? Or were you?
I actually was well prepared. After, thankfully, I have been doing wigs for a long time. I have seen some ups and downs. When I started doing the wig business, that was pretty much at the tail end of that 2009, where things were just starting to rebuild. So I had been prepared by having a healthy savings, by having all of my clientele listed in easy ways where we could contact them and keep promotions going. So I think that we were in good shape, and I'm really, really grateful for that. But still, there have been some things that we just didn't, I think in every area of life where we don't know how to handle this yet. So we're all learning together.
Right. Now, I'm under the impression, though, you were prepared in a way maybe a lot of people have not, because you had applied for special status for your shop, didn't you? Can you tell me about that a little bit?
That's true. Yeah. So I've always, noticed and kept track of the fact that approximately 35 to 40% of our business is medical, are based on medical needs clients. So whether that be chemotherapy, there are honestly so many different designations. There is alopecia, trichotillomania, thyroid problems, so many different reasons why people need wigs. But after talking to my accountant, I realized that if these clients of ours were able to obtain a prescription for their wig, there were numerous benefits for the client and for our shop. So I've always promoted each client that comes in and says, I've got Hashimoto's. I'm having radiation done to my head. I say, the first thing we need to do, when's your next doctor's appointment? We need to get you a prescription for a cranial prosthesis. So that has really helped us to stay afloat, because we get so many referrals from doctors. We also have been able to stay open just because we are a medical provider of wigs.
Right. So important, because obviously maybe there's a lot of salon owners out there, shop owners, that don't even really think about that or haven't thought about that. And that has, that certification or that, category is, I guess, what's allowed you to stay open as an essential business, correct?
Correct. That is correct. We are an essential business. We have an NPI number, meaning that we are, a billable provider of the product called cranial prosthesis. So a wig isn't just a wig. So a wig is a lot more than that to a medical needs client. It's a cranial prosthesis, which is something you can have a prescription to obtain. So we have actually been contacted by insurance companies, by hospitals, saying, are you guys open? We're looking for a referral for our guest. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been a huge blessing. And a lot of our clients thought, you guys are a hair salon. So we get calls, are you guys open? I know you guys are a hair salon. We're not a hair salon, actually. We're not on the board of cosmetology, because we're not cutting and dyeing anybody's real hair. Our sole focus is on hair replacements. So because of that, we are actually a durable medical equipment supplier.
Excellent. I mean, that's so good to know. And I mean, I feel like this is something that a lot of other salons may not know about, or if they've been thinking about it, a lot of times, you think, okay, I'll do that. I'll get to that eventually. And then you don't,
when
something else comes up.
Yeah,
exactly. And I mean, for you guys that are watching now, if you've been thinking about it or you didn't even know about it, I think this is something really worth doing. And I think we'll post the link. We'll post the link where people can go to apply for that, because I think you had to apply online for that, or did you go in person somewhere?
You know what? It was honestly kind of a painstaking process. And I ended up hiring a temp to come and sit here for a few days and sit on the phone and go through this process of sending in forms, obtaining licenses and finding proof. And this gal, Ashton, bless her heart, but she helped us to get approved with an MPI number. And then she contacted the different insurance companies and let them know our business name, our information, our NPI number, so that we could become listed throughout the medical community.
Yeah, sometimes it's necessary. Listen, it can't be as bad as, well, maybe it is, as dealing with the Italian consulate. I was applying for my Italian citizenship before I left for Kansas City. I had to get an attorney, because I could not go down there every day and deal with all the stuff that you had to deal with in order to get that done. So I know what you're saying.
Time to devote to that. So getting help
but
is okay.
Yeah, getting some help is okay. And you know what? Maybe this is the time to try to do that. If you're still closed, if you're not you know, this is the time, right? Because we're all thinking, well, what can we do right now?
For sure. That's a very valuable use of your time right now.
Yeah,
You do.
I think so. I mean, you know, you got to seize the day and the moment whenever possible.
Yeah.
So you guys were closed for, you're not open all week. I mean, you close kind of like for the weekends or whatever, but have you had to shift your schedule at all in order to accommodate the people that you had?
We have. So because we did not have a full staff during this time, I had staff of mine who chose to stay home, even though I offered them to continue to keep their hours, they chose to stay home. So because of that, you know, with a limited staffing, we did cut down to Monday through Friday, 10 to 3 for a few weeks. We are back up to full hours now at this time. So we did kind of scale back just because that was really, you know, it was need-based, right? So we saw that we could serve about 4 to 5 clients a day. And then when we would close off to clients, because we had to book one person at a time, you know, really take people's health seriously, then we would do our service work in the evening. So the staff was still staying until 5 or 6 to do their wash and styles and their alteration work. But we only took appointments during that certain time of day. And because more women were staying at home, we found that people didn't need those weekend appointments or those evening appointments like they used to. We were able to accommodate most people in the early afternoon.
Totally makes sense. Totally makes sense. By the way, let's see who we have here. Oh, we have Caramel Rosa, who wants to know how big your salon is. She was curious about that.
Okay, sure. So this salon here is 1,200 square feet.
Oh, good size.
Yeah, definitely. We have 4 chairs in here to serve clients. We've got a little lounge area with a couch and a comfy chair, and plenty of wigs on display. It's the perfect size. It's not too big. I think that it's important as a seasonal wig shop, because in Arizona, because we do have that ebb and flow of the temperature really heating up, and having a place that's affordable to run, you know, to operate, so that no matter what, you can stay profitable even in the summertime. So I don't like a store that's too big. You lose that cozy feel. So 1,200 square feet I found is the perfect size.
That's awesome. And do you, when you are seeing clients during normal, you know, business hours, is it, do you go into private rooms? Do you have just like some salon stations set up, or how do you deal with that personal feeling and someone's maybe insecurity or just feeling uncomfortable about the whole idea? How do you guys handle that?
Okay, so I try to banish the uncomfortable feeling. That's been part of my philosophy from day one, is that wigs are stylish, they're fun, they're popular. They are, you know, I think wigs are very desirable. So we really don't try and support that insecurity in the client. We really try and build their confidence. So we do have 4 open stations, and as well as 1 private station. So we do have that private room for people to use if they need it. But really, the camaraderie and the excitement felt between guests, the way that they're able to support and complement one another, has been, I think, key to our success, because people come in and they find friendship, they find fellowship, they find joy that they wouldn't find if they were tucked away in a tiny room by themselves.
That's an excellent point. That is an excellent point. And you can be with other people who are maybe experiencing the same issues you are and not feel so alone in all of it, you know?
Yeah, because we feel alone at home, right? We're at home agonizing over our hair situation in the mirror. We need to come in here and be met with like a group of friendly faces and find that support.
It's so true. I mean, I think that is so important for women. And it's a great point. You know, sometimes you think maybe you want to go into a private setting, and then you realize once you're there and you're seeing other women that, oh, maybe this is a great thing for me to break out of my shell and talk to some women and see what they're going through. Maybe you're sharing the same feelings, and it makes it that much more comfortable.
Definitely. Throughout the year, we host classes and where we feature special guests. And these women have gotten to meet each other time and time again. You know, so the same women that see each other at our annual clearance event are the same people that come and join in on some of our educational events. So these people have become friends. And I've seen them exchange phone numbers and contact each other over Facebook and everything. And I love to see that sense of community here in our shop.
Right. I think it's great. And so we had someone, Stephanie Simone's writes in, and she says, you know, she wants to grow her wig business. I mean, obviously she's looking and to be inspired. And so she was asking, like, what kind of tips would you have for someone who's trying to grow their business?
Okay.
What could you offer them? Like, what got you started? How did you handle yours? Was it all, obviously social media? I don't know how strong that was when you first started it in the business, but what did you do in essence?
Okay, so certainly things have slowly grown over time, and you don't want to grow too quickly. So I think that she's probably in a great position by being eager to grow her business. And then by doing that really organically, I think is the key to true success. So, you know, she never be afraid to ask for referrals or to tell them if you'd like to bring a friend with you to your appointment. We strongly support that because you want more people, you know, to come into your store to see the fun that you're having in there. Another big thing is to always capture the guest information. You know, at this point, when I send out an email, like an email blast, I've got over 1,000 people opening that email blast. You know, so slowly over time, we've built that up. Now we have a huge audience. So make sure that she is capturing their name, phone number, email, birthday, things like that, so that when she's advertising, she continues to build that return guest is really what you want. You know, you want a lot of women who are going to start wearing a wig are going to potentially be wearing it for the rest of their lives. So what it's really all about for me is like client retention and that return guest.
Yes, yes, because it is a niche business. I mean, it's not like everybody seeks this out. So it does take a little bit of effort, and you got to be a little clever with how you're reaching people and how you're getting out there. Did you ever work with like hospitals or cancer centers or anything like that? Was that ever a part of your growing your business?
It actually most certainly was. I find that any time that we do any type of volunteer work or donation of products, we always see a return benefit, you know, and we don't do that for that purpose in any way. But when I was starting out, I took several shampoo, conditioner, and brush sets, put them in cute little bags, tied them off, donated by Haley's Designer Wigs, and then our phone number and our website. So simple. So that when those people, you know, were visiting their chemotherapy appointment, there was a little boutique of free donation wigs that they could get, and then they would get a beautiful care set with their products with our information on it. So that was a great way to have those clients who, you know, needed help. They're going to get this wig, they don't know what to do with it. They've gotten it at a donation boutique ran by volunteers. You know that they're going to see your information and come in and get that expert touch.
Right. How about, like, were print ads successful in local papers or anything like that? Or how do you feel about that?
Gosh, you know what? I came into this game right when I bet you that print ads were on their way out. So we didn't do a ton of that. We do have brochures in the cancer offices. Definitely, we send them out once or twice a year, just so that we can keep in touch with our doctors. But I don't know about print ads as much as really the internet. You know, you have to have your bases covered, right? People love, when you get really passionate about wigs, you love YouTube. YouTube is just a huge way to learn about wigs and see them on real women rather than just the models in the catalogs.
That's true.
Yeah, I think really just having a YouTube presence, having an Instagram presence, make sure your bases are covered, because there's women in every town looking for wigs, and they're going to find you.
And you've been very successful as a YouTuber, haven't you?
I mean, sort of. My kids say I am. They're always impressed by, their mom's a YouTube sensation. It's funny, but I think, you know, it's just important to have that professional representation, and anything that you want to portray to your clients, get it on YouTube. It's fun. It's free. You know, like how amazing is that? In the past, advertising was very, very expensive. And now it's something that you can do in your spare time, in your downtime, and the cost is very little. And really, it's pretty easy. You don't need a degree to do a little advertising online.
Well, and that's the thing for a lot of shop owners. They think, oh, it's going to be a lot of effort and everything like that. Now, it is a little bit of effort, but it doesn't have to look professional. I think what the nice thing about doing a YouTube video or reaching out to your customers, even with an Instagram post, is that it's real and that it's believable. I mean, there is always a glamorous side to what we do, but there's also a very real side. And I think you've managed, and part of your success has been that you've managed to capture both. you know?
Oh, certainly. Yeah, never be afraid to be your authentic self, because people will be attracted to your authentic self.
Right, right. So anyway, you're open and now you're dealing with customers. You've been dealing with customers. So tell me, what have you done to make the customer feel safe, right? Because this is something that's on everyone's mind right now. They're walking in and they're a little nervous. They, you know, they just came from the grocery store maybe. What are your
Right.
requirements, your staff? How are you guys handling this to make people feel welcome as well as comfortable?
Sure. So definitely the first step to that is that initial phone call, you know, because a lot of clients are, instead of just swinging by the shop like they may have done in the past, they're calling first. So that's really your first point of contact, where you can reassure them that you are cleaning the stations between each guest, that you've got available masks and gloves, and that you're only taking one guest at a time. So for us, it's been really important. It's actually helped the clients to realize they need to show up for their appointment on time. You know, their appointment is an hour and 15 minutes long, and then we need to get prepared for the next guest. So I think reassuring them that they will be the only gal in the salon, it's a special appointment just for them, and that we do care about their safety has really.
So one at a time, basically, you know? One
at a time, yeah. We have been one at a time for the most part, except for a few people that need to, we always do allow them to walk in and drop off their wash and style items. So if they need to just drop off a dirty wig or pick up a beautiful, clean, styled wig, they can pop in and do that. But that is kept away from the guests. So we've got stations over here where people are trying on wigs. Then we've got a front counter over on the other side of the shop.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense, right?
Yes.
So I'm wondering, because you had built your clientele and you are very diligent about, you know, keeping in contact with your customers via email, posts, what was I gonna say? What did you notice with the business in general? Like when women were first staying home, how were you? And they needed their wig, you know, because it was time. How did you handle those requests or those particular situations?
Well, for one, I knew that we wouldn't fully close down. You know, I had a guest call me absolutely in tears. I had two messages. The day that they said that a lot of businesses were going to be forced to close in Arizona, I had two clients call who were losing their hair, and one was starting chemo on that following Monday. And so I said, these are medical needs clients. We've got to stay open for these women. I mean, you could hear the desperation in their voices. And some people are very comfortable ordering a wig online, but these are first-time guests who need that support. They want their head measured and this and that. So I think just, just staying open for them was just really, really, you know, important to me. We did see business drop. You know, we did see business drop, but at the same time, we saw loyal clients bless us. You know, I found that certain clients said, Haley, you know, that human hair that I've been thinking about ordering, I think the time is now. So one thing I noticed was just that, just as willing as we were to stay open for our community, I noticed our community touching us and blessing us by continuing to bring in their wash and styles, calling to check on us, just like we were calling to check on them. I mean, really, it's been kind of like a warm and fuzzy time where we felt a lot of love.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, listen, there's nothing like feeling your best to make you feel good. I mean, we all know what that's like. You know, like I had to cut my own hair, and I miss going into the salon.
Oh gosh.
And, you know what that's like. So for anyone who's going through that, it is a very important thing, and it makes them feel blessed to have you in their lives. And I understand too that you were also maintaining people's wigs and hair pieces, even though they weren't able to like go out. They were dropping them off to you, and you guys do styling, you guys do reconditioning, right? Yeah.
So, you know, if the fibers wear and tear, we absolutely love to do, you know, frizz repair treatments. We love to do blowouts, hot roller sets, and we've already had that in place. This wasn't something new that we had to implement.
Right.
So we already have a good clientele, just like somebody comes to see their hairdresser every 3, 5, 6 weeks, depending on their needs for their haircut. They bring in their wigs like clockwork, you know, so we actually didn't see a drop off really in that service. Also, we did promote coloring because we knew we'd have a little bit more time on our hands. So we really promoted the rooting, the, you know, like wigs look better with a little bit of roots, I think, most of it.
Yeah.
So we've done a lot of custom color projects.
That's a great service to offer during this time too.
Yes, yeah.
'Cause you're right, that does take some time. And if you've got a little extra time, right, you're not staying late, you can get it done in a reasonable amount of time and get it to them reasonably quickly.
Yes, we also saw our topper business increase during this time.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about that.
Yeah, I mean, people can't go into the salon, so they have, you know, their gray roots are growing out. And so we saw new clientele calling saying, my roots are just out of hand. I've heard about these things called toppers. So we did definitely get some new topper clients this past 2 months.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Because we've seen, just as a company, we've seen the topper business increase. And I'm wondering, has that been increasing for you as well? Have you seen that?
It has. In fact, there are a few of your guys' toppers that I keep in stock here in every single color at every. Yeah, so because women, I think, who don't even need a topper per se because of thinning, I mean, your guys' Chameleon Topper is really just one of the best toppers that I've ever dealt with. And I feel like almost every woman could have one just to cover up that little part to give them a little boost in color.
Right. Well, you know, it's interesting because, you know, you create a topper, right, as a designer, and we put one out. You know, you don't need a whole lot of toppers, because they can be customized. And I think people forget that. So you can carry one that's pretty general and stock it in all colors for whoever comes in, and then you just customize it for them instead of carrying everything, right?
And that's something where, as a wig shop, you stay busy. I mean, you may lose a few clients to the internet as far as wig purchases go, but toppers, you know, there's such a low success rate of people trying to do that on their own and buying toppers online. It really doesn't work. Actually, training class, I learned that over 72% of toppers are returned when they are purchased online. You just can't find the right color. Yes, yeah. So John Renault has and found out that 72% of toppers get returned. And I think that it's just so important that you teach the client how to put it on, how to situate it, show them how to blend it, and really build their confidence. So anymore, I actually love to promote toppers because I know that that's something that we are going to offer, we are going to customize. So definitely worth spending time advertising and studying your toppers. Each staff member needs to be confident about toppers.
That is so good. I mean, you're right. Staff members have to know the difference between them and how they're going to work for each person. And you know, one of the things,
and how to make them look good instantly. If we are fumbling, the client's confidence is going to go down. So you have to be a topper pro. Every single one of us watching should be a topper pro.
For sure. And you know, this brings me to a point that I think we get a lot of questions regarding. You know, I'm a wig shop, and you know, people are selling these same products online, and I have to compete with the online sales and the online price and all of that. And like you talk about having a topper, it's very important to customize that. And I don't think people realize it. You see it on the model, and you know, most of the time, you know, it's been styled for them. The model hasn't done it herself, you know, and they look great. So I want to talk a little bit about
it's been trimmed, usually batted.
Yeah, exactly. I want to talk to you about your response to and how you've dealt with the online marketing efforts and the online sales and websites that people purchase from, and what your view is on that and how you particularly deal with that.
Well, one thing I think is that if you can't beat them, join them, you know? So I think that the client is informed, they're doing tons of research. You're not going to fool anybody. So I think that just being really upfront, and honestly, for me, matching a price or, you know, coming down a little to accommodate that client is worth it in the end, because you're going to see that like financial return in their repeat business and their referrals. So for me, I'm not afraid to match a price. And then I say, okay, perfect. I can match that price, but we are going to need to steam this, to cut your bangs, and to do some thinning. So for that, there will be an additional consultation fee. These people are so happy to pay that to get that personalized service.
Yeah. I mean, who wouldn't want that, right? Any product you buy, it's like buying a suit or a dress. You're going to have some alterations done to it to make it look the best on you. I mean, why wouldn't you want to go into a salon? And I think that's one of the great things people forget about is, yes, you can buy something online And, it's
Mm-hmm.
easy way to do it, but there is something about learning about the product you're going to be wearing every day,
Right.
having it customized to suit you, and ultimately feeling like this is the right thing and you look your best.
Yes, I love to like just build that relationship while they're here. You also always want to show them something for the future. So this topper is perfect for you right now. We're getting it all customized, but in the winter time, you're probably going to want to get a full wig. So let me show you 2 or 3 real quick before you go that are really cute. So you're always setting them up for that return business. So the whole goal is, I think that if you look at the client, like, we're going to sell this to them for full price, you might not see them again, or they might decide to shop around in the future. But if they know we've given you a great value, we've done all the customizing, we can't wait to see you back for this, wig in the future, you're really going to see them return. And that is how you grow your business.
Right.
Reputation and return clients.
For sure. It's the same in any business,
Just take care of the client. That's really what it's all about. It's not about money. It's really not. It's about love and making them look and feel their best. And then the business will always return to you. You don't even have to think about that or worry about that, as long as you're taking amazing care of your guests.
Yeah. So, okay, I'm going to throw something out at you. So what about the phone rings and you pick up the phone and you're like,
Sure.
Haley's Designer Wigs. And it's like, hi, I'm looking for Raquel Welch Simmer. How much do you charge for Raquel Welch Simmer? What do you do then?
Perfect. So I say, hey, wonderful. The simmer is one of our best selling styles, and we've got quite a few of them in stock. So always, starting with something positive. And then you can say, is there a certain price that you're looking for us to match on that product? Because that they're calling because they're looking online and they're seeing the simmer, right? So they've seen it. Chances are high that they've watched a few reviews, found it on a few different websites during their musings, looking for different pictures. So I always start off the conversation by, is there a price that you're looking for us to match today? And then that way you always keep that conversation going. If you just say, well, the MSRP on the simmer, it looks like it's $469,
Right.
Okay, well, have a good day. I'll think about it and call you back. So so if they're going to say that, then the conversation's over, right? But you want to satisfy the needs of that guest. So I always look at it as, the minute someone contacts me with a wig inquiry, it is my job. I don't want to fail that client by not ultimately providing them with a wig. So whatever it takes to come to that agreement, normally we'll send a few color swatches. We'll ask them to send a picture of themselves. One really important thing that we have done this past year is gotten work cell phones. So we now have that modern touch of saying, here, quick, shoot me a picture of yourself. That way I can make some professional recommendations of what color is going to look the best on you. Right at that point, pretty much captured their heart. They trust you. They know that you're looking out for them as a specific person, not as a number.
Yeah. Well, and we all know what it's like to talk to somebody who you can go visit and see, and not just like some voice on the phone that you're never going to be able to look in the face or never going to see you. I mean, there's something very personal about that. So I have Stephen Behrens is writing in, and he wanted to ask, what do you charge in your area? Now we know every area is different, from New York to Chicago to LA. What do you charge normally for like a shampooing, cleansing, reconditioning of a wig on average? I know length probably plays into it, fiber, all of that, but.
So I think that we're pretty affordable here. So for some of our smaller pieces, short pixie cut wigs, short toppers, $20, $20 to shampoo, condition, and spiff that piece up. And then if we're doing frizz repair or putting curls back into a piece, it's going to run you up to $39. So it really depends. There is that range. I know that a lot of my clients in my Mesa shop, our average clientele is in their 60s or 70s. So for them, that $20 is that perfect price point, right? So they've got thinner, they've got the sparkle, they're wearing short, easy wigs. And so just to wash those, it's really an affordable thing to do, to have done by us.
Sure. And it makes sense. I mean, of course you could do it at home, but there is something kind of nice about just bringing it in, like going to the dry cleaner. It's kind of nice just to drop it off and
Absolutely.
having it done for you.
They love it. And it's really, I mean, the ladies that work love to just drop it off and pick it up. And then, you know, we do try and teach clients, like, here's the hot rollers that we're using. If you'd like to watch us, you can. But really they watch and they're like, you know what? I'd rather just have you guys do it. So then they continue to bring their pieces in.
Right. Yeah, it's so convenient. It's so nice to have that done. You just pick it up and it's ready to go. So
I know
Kayla
that I
writes
use
in,
pieces like that. So I drop off my laundry and then I go pick it back up. So I know that it's just a really nice convenience to offer.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say, Kayla wanted to ask, do you have any advice on getting client photos, or do you do client photos like before and afters to show other people, or how do you do that? And how do you make them comfortable to do that?
We love to do that. So unfortunately, sometimes we only take the after photo because they look so good. And then we think, well, wow, we need a picture of you. We do have a background with our store logo on it, and that's in our filming room. So a lot of times we'll say, here, let's take a cute picture of you if you don't mind if we use this on our website or to show other guests who have similar hair needs that you have. And really, it's a compliment to the clients. I think that they love it. I mean, what's the worst they could say? No. So if you see 5, 6, 7 clients in a day, you get 2 great pictures. That's plenty to keep your social media going.
Oh yeah, you know, I used to do it in the salon. You just remind me, like, where I like that you have a designated area so you can be very consistent as well. You know, but we used to do extensions before and after, show our great lengths extensions, and then we used to also show, like, you know, we used to do like the chemical straightening. You know, take before and afters. And I think if you ask nicely and if you try to, you know, show them in the best light, they're more than happy to cooperate. I know what we do is a little more sensitive when we're talking about any kind of hair replacement or anything like that. But you know, of course there can be some people that don't want to do it, but I say it doesn't hurt to ask, you know. Read
your client. The ones that are in here laughing, joking around, teasing themselves, they're going to say yes to you. I mean, those funny ladies. Yeah.
I know. I'm always one of the people that they say, can we use you as an example? Because I'm pretty much an open book. I don't care so much. But you know, but it's about respect, and it's about, you know, just asking, I think. And I think that's what's allowed you to, you know, create this nice portfolio and to be very open about what you do. And it makes people feel comfortable in the end.
Yeah, and people like to see other examples that look like them. You know, I think that business owner, I have to be careful that every picture isn't me or a model or somebody from a professional advertisement. We really love to use the woman next door, you know, so definitely worth doing. And then I think posting regularly is really important. One thing I noticed really drop off, because I'm friends with almost, you know, tons of other wig shop owners, right? As well as e-commerce. And I could tell which stores were closed because these women, I checked their pages and they hadn't posted in 2 months. And I said, you know, hey, how are you? I'm just wondering if you guys are open, how you're doing. But you have to stay in the spotlight. You really do. You have to remind people that you're there because, I mean, for example, the internet's always going to be in the spotlight, right? They're always going to be mailing things. And so what about us? We need to at least be posting once a week and at least have a promotion once a month. I mean, you have to stay consistent, right? Consistency is the key. So even for salons that have been closed, there's no reason why every wig shop cannot be drop shipping wigs, you know, without even meeting with their clients in person. So as long as you're reaching out to clients, then you can send them things in the mail without actually going to work.
Well, when you say you're posting, reach out to clients, what method are you using? I know you do the YouTube videos, but when you're going direct to customers, is that via email, Instagram posts, Facebook? I mean, do you keep everybody connected on that type of network?
Yeah, so I mean, Instagram makes it really easy, and I didn't embrace Instagram right away. I am old-fashioned a little bit, so I didn't do it right away, but Instagram is so easy to use. So if you're not already using it, just go log into Instagram right now and get started. It's a no-brainer. And then too, like Instagram automatically posts to your Facebook. So you don't even have to do it. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Facebook bought Instagram. And so if you do an Instagram post, it immediately goes to your Facebook page. So you're gonna reach
Right.
people with not a lot of effort.
Right. And I myself am a little bit old school. I'm an old dog. And I just started Instagram not too long ago. And I'm
Mhm.
actually finding it the more I'm doing it, the more engaging I'm finding it. It takes me a little while sometimes to do certain things, but I mean,
Right.
you can't really mess it up, can you? You know?
Okay, well, actually, you can mess it up. There is something
Oh, no,
that
don't
I
tell me
learned.
this.
I know. So I learned this. I used to just post and then I wouldn't actually respond to anybody. Like I would just post and then go about my busy life. Well, people are commenting, right? And they're trying to engage in conversation. So it's really important if you do a post that morning that at
Oh,
night when you're sitting in bed, you go back and answer a few of those people, right? So
oh, wow. I guess I need to do that more too.
communicating, right? It might hurt people's feelings if you don't
Oh
respond
my
to
gosh.
them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, I mean, do you have a particular, I mean, obviously you have your shop, but are you connected with other people in your area and has that helped you at all?
Well, I know everybody in my area that does wigs, and
Hmm.
I can truly say that I have been trained by one of the best. You know, there's a gal in my city who I learned so much from and who I just have an enormous amount of respect from. And we do, you know, people see each other at trainings and different wig events. So I think
Yeah.
that we're all peers. We all have something in common, which is just that we care for our clients. There's not a lot of jobs out there like doing wigs. Doing wigs
Right. For
encompasses
sure.
business, beauty, fashion, a little bit of psychology, you know, a little bit of counseling. We have to care about people. So I think that there's just this huge camaraderie between people who are in this profession. I really do communicate a lot with my peers online. So not only do I communicate with clients, but there's girls that have opened shops all around the United States who I talk to regularly. Even in times of stress where we're struggling, we can reach out and
Mm.
rely on one another for ideas.
How
Um,
nice is that?
yeah, I love my wig sisters. Seriously, like it's just a handful of you, and you all know who you are. But thank you for the relationships that we've built and maintained throughout this time.
I know I guess I have wig sisters too out there, but
Do
I
you?
like hearing
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I like hearing from them too. And
They're
I
cool.
to be honest with you, I love watching all the wig reviews that people do out there. And I think if you're a wig shop and maybe you're thinking about carrying a wig or you're not sure if you want to add it to your collection, I mean, I think check out some of these wig reviews. And I like watching all kinds of wig reviews because I learned something from all of
Uh-huh.
them. And I love getting honest feedback. I think it's so important. And so if you don't have other wig shops in your area like you do, Haley, that you can connect with these
Right.
women and you kind of do things for someone who's maybe out there and this little bit of distance between that type of business, you can still hear on YouTube feedback from other people who do have wig salons and do sell the product and know it. So I
Uh,
think it's a great way to connect that way as well. I mean, I guess overall what I'm saying is we are learning to become a little bit more focused on social media as a way to come together and a way to connect. I mean, that's why we did HairUWear Cares, was to bring people like you together and just kind of get it
right.
all going. One of the things we did is we put together we give something away every week. So this week we're giving away an infographic for our customers, and basically what that is it's a way to let people know that you're opening up your doors again, because everyone's opening up at different times. We understand this, but that you're
Okay.
opening up your doors, those that are, and you
Mhm.
can let them know what you're doing to prepare for this. So it's an infographic, and you can link it to your Facebook page, your email page. You can post it, and you can say, oh, there you go, see it up there. And it basically shows what you're doing to prepare for their visit back to the salon to make them feel comfortable. And if you're thinking about you need a graphic or you want to do something as you're starting to open up your doors, definitely reach out to your salespeople for HairUWear. And you can post this and you can add your salon name to it. You can put your email on it. And the nice thing about it is it will be ready for you to accept and download just by calling this Friday. So for those of you who don't
Nice.
have access to graphics and photos and things like that, this is a great way to start. And it's also a great way to kind of
That
explain the
is
situation.
a beautiful graphic. That is so well done. I cannot wait to use that.
Thanks. It's very friendly, it's very colorful, and it's kind of, we wanted it to be a little bit more happy and
Uh-huh.
brighter because we've kind of been living a little bit in the dark. So this is this is one
Well,
way to
that
do
looks a
that.
lot nicer than hand typing or hand writing something and slapping it on your front door. So
Yeah.
that's really professionally made. Good job, HairUWear. Love it.
Well, thank you, darling. Thank you. You know,
Yes.
we're trying to do everything we can, and you know, it takes
Mhm.
it takes some effort and some thought. You know, we're trying to give people tools that they could use um, that work ultimately. So, all right, what do we want to touch base on now? I think I wanted to ask you. I wanted to ask you something, Haley, and it escaped me for the moment. But oh, I know what I wanted to ask you. So, you were saying before, a little earlier, that you look at the wigs as not like a tragic thing, that it's a very happy thing, and you're excited to be working with the customers. What would you say is your percentage changing between need-based customers versus fashion-based customers? What's happening with that?
Right. There are a lot of fashion-based customers. And really, I think that there's kind of a fine line between fashion-based and hair that's just thinning a little bit. So I think that hair that's just thinning a little bit now prompts women to say, hey, maybe a fun wig would be a good idea. So I mean, we really see both. Yeah, we see both of that.
Right. Because I know, obviously, you know, we have to, as designers, we follow fashion and we follow what's happening, but we also have to temper it a little bit because we know that not everybody's on the cutting edge of Vogue, right? So we have to say, where are we going to fall? Where does this collection go?
Right.
How does it?
I think the stores need to carry the classics and the new pieces, really. You've got that classic clientele. I mean, there's the basics, right? You've got your pixie cuts and your bobs. You need to always have those classic pieces here, and then invest carefully in the new trends, in the new collections. So when new collections come out, I safely, you know, order 1 to 2 of each new piece. I try it out. I call clients specifically and say, there's something new that's here that I think you'd love to check out. People love when you do that. Honestly, they normally come in and end up purchasing the piece that you've recommended for them. But I think that being careful too in the inventory that you carry, that way you can continue to be profitable. So, I mean, I'm just going to speak to my fellow wig salon owners right now, but
do it.
They're presenting us with new collections 2-3 times a year, right? So they're presenting us with a lot of new product, and you need to be careful and protect yourself and say, okay, how much can we afford? You know, is it a good time to bring in new products? And then normally we always have a sale in order to bring in new products. So I'm going to have an end of season sale, right? And I'm going to, you know, reduce inventory a little bit, and I'm going to let clients know we're getting ready to bring out the spring collection. Spring collection comes in May. We're having a sale right now to eliminate some of these winter products. So that's a way to keep your inventory fresh. Really, people love to come into a fresh, beautiful salon. You do not want to have old inventory in your shop. So be willing to get rid of that old inventory and really keep your selection up to date. You want to be known as a cool wig store, right? We're not your grandma's.
That's right. That's a good point. So I just out of curiosity, Haley, because I'm so excited to be here with you today, and I do value your input and everything you do to take care of your customers and this business. So I'm just going to ask you off the cuff. I would just like to know, since we're together, what are some questions you might have for me as a designer? Because obviously there's us, and we're like the little elves working and doing everything behind the scenes, and then you get the product. So what is your experience? What are some things you might have for me to answer? And I hope I can answer easily. No.
Sure, I definitely. One thing I want to know is, what do you guys view as your average end consumer? What age group do you design these wigs for? Or do you, with each collection, are you trying to find something to fit each demographic?
Yes, typically, well, you know, we have our various brands, right? And we have like a visual or a mental demographic, a mental customer, like if you will. And, you know, obviously with the hairdo and the put on pieces, it's that young girl who wants to change her look up real quickly and easily. She wants fullness, she wants length. It's that kind of thing. Our Gabor line, we want pretty classic styles that are affordable. We don't want to make them too outlandishly priced.
Yes.
And so we look at a woman that is, maybe she's a mom, she's a working mom, maybe she goes to the office, but she's an active woman, and she wants it easy, and she wants it simple, and she doesn't want to fuss too much. And then when I like envision the Raquel woman, I picture someone of all ages, really. She transcends age because, you know, fashion is fashion. And I would say Raquel is our, like,
Fabulous,
current
right?
kind of fashion.
Fabulous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's about looking gorgeous and glamorous, and also being able to get some versatility out of the style. So maybe if you see the image of Raquel and you think, wow, she's got that all glammed up, you can still take that style and smooth it out for you. So yeah, we do have like a visual or a mental idea of who each person is, who each woman is, and what her lifestyle is like. And so we kind of design to that. If that answered your question.
Great. Yeah, definitely. I know everybody always comments about Raquel. Oh my God, she looks good in anything she puts on. How does she still wear that at, you know, and they do ask, now how old is Raquel? Because she can wear anything. And I say, well, maybe you can too. Let's try and think outside the box. You know, don't be afraid to be fabulous. Let's look like Raquel a little bit.
Absolutely. I mean, Raquel she's not shy of saying it. She's going to be 80 this year. And
she's just looking so beautiful, better than ever. I mean, she's amazing.
She looks great. And I'll tell you, she loves her wigs. And she's not just, you know, she's not Lawrence Bate, who's one of our head designers. He always says she's not just the name on a box, and she's not. She gets very involved. I go there, we show her together pieces and wigs, and we talk about everything. And she has her input all the time, and she's very, you know, she knows what looks good. And it's wonderful to have that kind of person involved, because you get inspired, and she's very inspiring to be around. So definitely don't feel like when you're buying a Raquel Welch wig, or you're wearing a Raquel Welch wig, that she has no input on it, because I will tell you that is not the case. She has plenty of input on it. And you know,
she is one of the creative directors of the brand, correct? She is
absolutely
active. Absolutely. Yeah, I always tell my clients that she's a creative director of her own line. Yeah, and she wears the product. You see her in appearances. She's always wearing a wig.
Always. And you know, it's funny because she'll say, we'll show her like a design. She's like, oh, do women really wear that? You know, and it's like, yes, Raquel, not everyone lives in LA.
Oh, okay, right.
And so it's like, and then when she puts it on and she plays with it a little bit, you know, maybe it's not something she typically would wear, or she feels is her style. Like a lot of women out there, you'll look at her and go, well, that's not my style. But once she puts it on, sometimes it transforms. She's just like, oh, you know what? Oh, this is quite lovely. I like this. All right, I get it now. Once she has it on, you know. So
that's why it's important to try the wig on. You know, trying wig on is so much fun.
Absolutely. And we also try to, we also try to show it styled a little differently on other models and on Raquel, so that you can get an idea of what the possibilities are with it. So yeah. So I guess I got a little long-winded on that, Haley, but what else you got for me, girl?
That's good. Well, I think that, I mean, honestly, you guys are at the forefront of technology. I think that your guys' caps are continuing to improve. I'm obsessed with the Memory Cap 3. I love the new silicone features on that.
Oh, good.
I mean, honestly, that's something that you used to only see on like folia pieces, you know, wigs that costed thousands of dollars had that silicone. And now you guys have added that into a consumer-friendly piece that comes in at $200 or $300. I mean, I think it's amazing, some of the new features that you guys are using. I'm really, really excited about it. I love all the hand-tied options that you guys have come out with. One thing that I continue to see clients asking for is lower density. You know, the density is scary. They're thin-haired people in general when they come in. So then to put on something with so much volume, I think can shock the client a little bit. So I always try and like, you know, say first, and when we put this on, just remember that we provide that custom thinning so that it's the perfect amount of hair for you. But I would say just continuing to work on the low density scalps, the breathable features.
And you know, that's interesting because we are aware of that, right? So we are working on constantly. That's why you see more hand-tied areas to reduce the density. And I'm on that with you. I totally agree. I think women want things to be, you know, hair isn't as voluminous all the time. You want something a little more natural, something you wear every day and feel comfortable in. So totally got that. Yeah. So anything else before we wrap up, Miss Haley?
You know, no, nothing else. I just want to say thank you. And also just thank you to my peers. Thank you to everybody that's in this industry. I know that we're all in this together. And I support you. I love you. I'm just so happy to be part of the wig community.
Haley, I wanna thank you. I mean, number one, because you're about to give birth any minute, and I appreciate your like being strong and tough and doing this for us, given that fact. But I also want to thank you for your contribution to the industry, your contribution to the women you touch every day, because it is a gift and it's something you should be really, really proud of. And not only do you touch women that come into your salon, you touch wig wearers and wig people in the wig business in general across the board. So thank you for taking time out of your busy day.
We're the ones that are blessed. It's a blessing to us. It's a blessing to be able to serve.
Yeah, you know what? I feel that way too. I think it's, I enjoy what I do because I love the creation part and I love being able to help too in the same process. So,
so I can tell you're passionate about it. It really comes across, and I love your authenticity.
Oh, thank you, darling. So listen, you go on with your day. I want to tell you, it's been a joy, and I hope to see you soon, hopefully in real life.
Yes.
And
yes.
on behalf of myself, on behalf of everyone at HairUWear who knows you and has gotten to know you, thank you and congratulations on the baby.
Thank you so much. I'll keep everybody posted. And as my HairUWear rep Jody always says, have a beautiful hair day.
I love it. Thanks, Haley. Have a great day.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.